Context means a great deal in what we say, whether we're expressing ourselves in English or in a programming language such as Perl. For instance, the word to. Now, I could say I am going to the store, in which case the word to refers to the word to, describing an object. On the other hand, I could say, my friends are coming to, which means the word to, which also. Or I could say, I have 2 stops to make, in which case I'm talking about the word TWO, 2 different places to go. Context is an important concept in Perl. We have 2 types of context for looking at variables in memory. The list context and the scalar context. And we can move back and forth between these 2 as we need to. So I've got a little code here that will give you an idea of using lists as a scalar context or in a scalar context. So the first thing I needed to do was to create a list of, in this case, hobbies. So I've got fly fishing and playing folk music, photography, and motorcycling. So I've defined them as a list within the parentheses, and then I've copied my list into the array hobby. This is list context. So now I move down into a for each loop where I say for each $hobby. Now that's obviously a scalar context. So this reads for each hobby within the array hobbies. So I'm looking at one at a time from my list. Now it's a scalar hobby. Then I go ahead and I add a tab stop to the beginning of hobby and a carriage return at the end and print hobby out. Now we've seen this kind of code before. After a short pause, I'm going to demonstrate my list in a scalar context. And the way that I'm going to do that is I am going to take a scalar value called number. This is a variable I'm defining right now. And I'm going to make it equal to the integer 17 plus the array hobby. Now I'm referring to the array hobby at hobby. So it's the whole array, but the context is scalar. I'm going to add my array to 17. Well, it doesn't really make sense to add fly fishing and motorcycling to 17. So Perl looks at this request and says, I interpret this to mean to add the number of items in hobby to 17, and my result should be 21. Okay, here we are in my terminal, and I'm all set to run my script hobby. Let's give it a whirl. There is my list in list context. Remember, all we're doing is printing out the array one item at a time from the list. The next step is to look at the array within a scalar context. We're going to add it to the number 17, and we get 21. That, my friends, is all there is to it.